Welcome to my garage in the home of the Trailhead. So at the center of my shop is the most important part for any bike shop. The actual bike stand and the workbench that I use to work on bikes. My repair stand is a Rad Cycles home repair stand. It is nothing special. It is only a $55 stand. Honestly, for the money, it is pretty good. Compared to the $220 that a park tool cost, it definitely is worth the money. I've owned this repair stand for about 6 months now, and it's been great. I actually originally had its little brother, which was a countertop mounted repair stand. And if you've ever used one of those, they are awful. It's great if you really are limited on space and you do not have room for a standalone unit. But this allows you to get on both sides of the bike. It really makes working on bikes easy. So anyone that's having their own bike shop, highly recommend you get a repair stand, even the cheap one, or you can spend the extra money and get the better park tool one. Regardless, buy a repair stand. It is outstanding. My old desktop one got moved to outside. I just mounted it onto the brick wall, and this has actually become my bike wash station. I wasn't going to use it otherwise, so I decided to make a use for it. It gives me a nice concrete area to wash bikes, and the hose is just right over there, and it just folds out of the way so you don't hit your head on it as you walk by. So going left from right, basically this is my overflow storage. I keep all my extra gear, so from my packs, dry bags, I keep all my excess camping gear up top, some lanterns. There's also a few project items in here, some boat seats and some stuff for a boat project that's coming up on the channel. I also keep an extra cooler and my two camping boxes here. And then I also keep my my bike shoes here, my clipless shoes, and my regular flat shoes. On the shelf over here, this shelf really is kind of a waste. I kind of just had knickknacks here. Really nothing important is here. Sentimental value, things like my grandfather's tool belt, old cameras that were my father. I do keep some of my camera supplies in here. Really the thing I use the most in here is, this is where I hang my apron. If you've ever had a shop, you get really nasty pretty quick, especially working with greasy bikes. So this is something nice just so I can come out in regular work clothes and not get dirty. As you work over here, I have my my tool wall. Keep kind of my woodworking tools, moving on into the bike tools as you go this way. Basically I kind of put the bike tools I use the most in this spot. You definitely want to be able to get your tools nice and easy. And if you saw on my work stand, I kept my Allen wrenches there because that's the place I use them the most. So that's nice and convenient for that. And then as you work your way down, I keep battery storage for my I keep battery storage for my power tools, some different chemicals, brake cables, shifter cables, housing, cleaning supplies. And as you can see here, I got some project stuff kind of piled up. Get my packs down here. Down at the bottom is just my overflow storage. That's where I keep a lot of my parts that are longer. So forks, different bars, some seat posts. I even got some tires down there. Things are just bigger that are harder to store. I keep in here. It's just overflow storage. On the other workbench, I have my very inexpensive trimming stand. I think this thing's like $40. It is extremely cheap, but it works. So I'm kind of a cheapskate. I'm kind of have the feeling, try the cheap thing first. If it doesn't work, buy the better thing then. At least in this kind of case, some things, I don't follow that. In the background that you see in a lot of the videos, I had some old Bmx trophies from back when I raced BMX when I was a kid. Some lubricants, grease, helmets, things like that. On this workbench, I like to store some things against the back of it. So for the most part, I just have future project items, as well as some things like tubes and small air compressor, things like that. Hanging in the background on almost every one of my videos, you might have noticed my Haro SR24. This is not the exact bike I raced, but it's the same model. This was the first bicycle that I purchased with my own money, so it kind of has sentimental value. The original one got stolen, and I found this one for 150 bucks without a crankset, so I kind of rebuilt it just to have a BMX bike laying around to have fun with every once in a while. I honestly don't ride it that much. That's why it's more of a decoration nowadays. Also, my workbench, I keep my wheel holder, tire levers, little tool tray. This is great for working on wheels. If you've seen any of my bike build videos, you definitely see me use this a lot. And I actually show a video of building this. Park Tool makes an actual expensive version of this. I just bent a piece of aluminum and made one myself. It works great though for what I need. At the end of my bench, I have a vise. Any workshop, no matter from a wood shop to a bike shop, needs a vise. It comes in handy all the time to cut forks, to cut handlebars down. In this case, it's actually vise. It's my Pinewood Derby car in it that I'm building for my a school project. So I'm racing the kids at my school. But it definitely comes in handy more times than you can count. Down below, I got 4 sets of drawers and 2 cabinets. The first drawer are all the bike tools I don't use a lot. So things like a third hand for adjusting derailleur cables, a bottom bracket wrench, a star nut installation tool. I mean, things you don't really use that a lot. I mean, how often are you adjusting a derailleur hanger to see if it's straight? You don't do it that much. So I just keep it in here. So they're handy, but you know, they're out of the way. The next drawer, I keep little bags, but I keep my stickers. I have a digital caliper. This is definitely a tool worth buying. This isn't even a cheap one. It's not even that bad, from Harbor Freight. Whole picture. But also keep different stickers for bikes I'm working on. Reflective tape sticker. I keep my tape measure. And if you are doing bikes, definitely make sure it has metric system as well, so I can measure stuff for bicycles. Next one, I just have some basic tools like ratchets, different tips for my screwdriver, an old Topeak, or no, sorry, old Allen bike multi-tool that I've had for years. I actually had to buy this back when I BMX raced, so really old. And in the last drawer, I keep all my small items for bikes. So extra star nuts, brake caliper extensions, assorted bolts, head spacers, you know, small stuff that you know you'll lose otherwise if you don't keep it in a drawer. I just keep it in here. This is all bike specific things. There's some chains, housing, there's a seat bracket, you know, just random stuff in here. This is kind of a junk drawer of bike parts. Next, I have my bike storage area. I'm going to get into more of these bikes near the end. If you want to, I'm going to do a full bike check for you. But I have my 2 main bikes, my road bike, my trail bike, my wife's bike, and my daughter's bike here. I just have it on an inexpensive rack to hang it against the wall. And then I keep, as you can see further down, just some overflow tools and things like that. I also have some overflow storage on the opposite side of the shop. I keep some project bikes, my lawnmower, and then a few other long-term storage items that I keep over here. Stuff I don't use that often. I don't use that camping gear that much, so I keep it over here. But I mean, that's my shop. My oldest but newest bike to my fleet is my Specialized RockHopper. I actually picked this up a few weeks ago for only $30. This bike is pretty stock. The way it came, the only thing I've done to it so far is the, had to replace the grips because they had some really nasty gummy grips. From what I can find on my research, this is a 96 RockHopper. So it's almost as old as I am. But it's a really good bike. It's running a 3x8 drivetrain. A lot of Ritchie components. It's a great bike. I really enjoy it. I'm going to do an upgrade video to this bike eventually. I actually have all the parts behind me, I just haven't done it yet. But it's a really cool bike, and I enjoy it a lot. Next bike on my fleet is my Cannondale Cad 3 R800. This is my road bike. I haven't done much to this bike. I have rode it some, but I don't ride it too much. I'm still haven't recovered all the way, so long road bike rides are not in my short future right now. So as I get my lungs get a little bit stronger, I can enjoy it a little more. This bike I picked up back in November, so it also is not that old for me. Only thing I've done to it is I upgraded the tires to some 28C tires that are a little bit thicker, so I can ride it on gravel roads. Replaced the grip tape on it. Replaced the pedal with these awesome Rock Brothers pedals. They're platform on one side and they have the clips on the other, which is pretty nice. So you can, if I just want to ride it around, I can. I don't have to always ride clips. Other than a few stickers, that's it. I mean, I haven't done much of this bike. It's pretty awesome on its own. It is by far the lightest road bike I've ever felt. Granted, I've only rode cheap road bikes in my past, and all the ones I normally have looked at in the past were older road bikes. So technology's changed a lot since then. So I'm sure a carbon bike would beat this out of the water on weight. It does have a carbon fork, but it's an aluminum frame, all alloy components. But it's extremely lightweight, and I enjoy it a lot. It's a good bike. The final bike on my fleet is by far the most expensive bike I own, at least that I own. If you can tell, I don't like spending a lot of money. So I have decent parts, but they're not, I'm never going to spend $4,000 on a mountain bike. So this bike is a Gary Fisher Cake 2 DLX. It is a pretty capable bike from 2005. I did a few modifications to it, threw a dropper post on it, so switched it to a 1x drivetrain, upgraded the rear derailleur and drivetrain to an 11 to 52 the rear cassette, 8-speed with a box Prime 9, which is I really enjoy that. Brakes, it has Hayes 9 hydraulic brakes with 160 rotors. For what I ride, they're more than capable. A Man-2 Swinger air shock. I remember the specs. I don't remember the travel of it. Sorry, I apologize. The front shock is a Fox Float R. I do know that. This is 130 millimeter travel front air fork, which with my big large I have it pumped all the way up to maximum pressure just because I'm so heavy. Race face grip with the Cane Creek headset. I did cheap out on the stem when I upgraded it from the super long stem that came with. I put a basic Wake alloy stem on it. For what I've been riding, I haven't really noticed any quality problems with it. Overall, I love this bike. I've ridden this bike the least amount of any bike I've owned, just because I'm waiting for bike parks to open up. So as soon as they do, I'm definitely going to take this to some local bike parks. I don't live too far from Snowshoe, PA, or Snowshoe, West Virginia, or Bryce Ski Resort / bike park, which is south of me. So I have 2 bike parks I want to take it to, but definitely a fun bike. I definitely have put a lot of money into this bike. When you buy an old bike, you're going to have to put money into it to get it where you want to make it. This one needed some updating, so I had to put some just updates right off the bat. Other than that, it's a really good riding bike, and I enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed my bike check as well as my shop tour. Definitely check out more videos from the channel. We're about to start into a whole series of boat videos with my my father's new boat, as well as I own a boat as well that I'm going to upgrade. The boat seats earlier in the video, that's what those are for. So that's going to be a fun project as well. And then I also have planned some camping videos as it gets a little bit warmer and I'm off for the summer for my job. So definitely stay tuned for more content. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.